Good afternoon, guys. It's me, Hawkins, Miss Davison, and Miss Acosta. We're going to go over the analysis with Cherry's decision. In chapter 8, Cherry meets up with Ponyboy and 2-Bit, and they're talking about the rumble that's coming up. Cherry makes sure that 2-Bit and Ponyboy knows that they're going to play fair. There's not going to be any weapons, and also discusses individually with Ponyboy how Randy is choosing not to participate in the rumble. On page 128, she goes, hold on.
Pony said
He's not scared. He's just sick of fighting. Bob. She swallowed and then went on quietly. Bob was his best buddy since grade school. So it goes into more detail where Randy feels like because of Bob's death, and that was his buddy, that he didn't want to participate in senseless fighting, and since it's a rumble, anything can happen.
And not only did his best friend die, but he watched him die.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he saw it happen. He was part of the reason it happened, and I think he realizes at that point that it's ridiculous to fight. He comes to the same realization that Johnny comes to, that the fighting is just useless, that there's no point in it.
On the second point, why Cherry won't go to visit Johnny in the hospital. Cherry had seen another side of Bob that the rest didn't get to see. That was her boyfriend. She participated in his life because she's a social too. She said there was another side to Bob without the drinking, like he had a soft side, so she couldn't go see Johnny, who killed Bob, even though Bob was probably asking for it.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people who, Cherry as a character, there are a lot of people who don't like Cherry, because they're like, well, she did this and she did that, and she's the cause of everything. And I think Cherry probably has, we were talking about this before we started filming, survivor's guilt.
Yeah, so if you think about it, go back to chapter 2, when they went to the drive-in, when Dally was bothering Cherry and Marsha, and Pony didn't involve himself in that, and then they started talking. Ponyboy goes back and tells Cherry the story about Johnny getting jumped previously, and in this chapter right now, where Pony and Cherry talk, she's like, I knew it was Bob.
Yeah, she knew it then. She knew they were talking about Bob.
And how Miss Davidson said, the survivor's guilt. Think about it. If Cherry had right then and there stopped talking to Ponyboy, had not let them walk them home, had Bob not found them, Bob wouldn't have died. Johnny wouldn't be on his deathbed. There's a lot.
Or maybe they would have, because we never know. But
How it would have played out.
Because they were still having they were still greasers and socias. They still had all this going on. And they still have this rumble that's coming up in the next chapter. And, they talk about fighting and act like fighting is no big deal as long as they don't have weapons. They talk about that earlier in the story. But a rumble's dangerous. And people could be hurt in this rumble. And it's still going to be happening. So I think Cherry kind of gets a bad rap in a sense. Because she does try to make it up to him.
Yeah.
The question we posed on the worksheet is she right or wrong in not seeing Bob? And not going to see Johnny, and that's up to you to decide.
That's totally your opinion. And what's great about this is though you can see it from so many different angles. I can see it from a survivor's point of guilt. Ms. Hawkins sees it as
I would think that she had a right to not go see him.
the loyalty to the boyfriend.
Right. And he's dead, and he's not there to defend himself, so I could see why she would not want to go see him.
Because anything they say about Bob, you're right, he's not there to defend himself. And so it's kind of a mixed bag. When you answer that question, as long as you support your answer, you're not going to get that wrong. Because we want to know what you think. Mm-hmm. Another thing, when Ponyboy gets mad at her and kind of tells her off, right?
He says basically, we don't need your. I think he said. I think he said.
Charity.
We don't need your damn charity. Charity. Don't think of it as charity. Like I'm giving you something to make you feel better. That's not the charity that he's meaning. Charity that he means is like pity. Like, don't pity us is what he means. He's like, we don't need your pity. So to substitute charity for pity, think of it that way. Don't feel sorry for us, basically is what he's saying.
But then when he sees her start crying, because Pony Boy is not that hard character who could just walk off from her. When he sees her crying and he realizes that he hurt her by saying that, he softens it up a little bit. And that's why he asked her if she can see the sunset real good from her side of town. That's that point in the story where he's trying to remind her, you know what, we talked about this before. The sunset keeps coming back. It might be one of those things you use as a symbol on that assignment that you have. When he asks her if she sees the sunset, he's basically saying, I see it, you see it, you know, we're the same deep down. We have all these different issues going on. Ms. Hawkins, Ms. Acosta and I, we come to you from different backgrounds. We have very different lives, but we're all the same deep down.
You all feel the same.
Yeah.
You all feel the same.
The other thing that is important about that sunset scene is that he is pointing out that beautiful sunset. In that video clip, that sunset is gorgeous. Every time I see a sunset, I think of, or a sunrise, I think of the Outsiders, you know, and I think of, and I'll look at it and say something like, you know, nothing gold can stay. And he's bringing that point back when he's looking at that sunset. He's talking about the beauty of nature. That sunset, just like a sunrise earlier in the chapter, it can only stay for that little section of time. It's going to change, and then it's gone. All right.
All right, guys. Well, we hope these videos are helping you. If there's anything that we can do to make it better or easier or go in more depth, please leave a comment so that way we can try to make a video. And we miss you guys, and we hope you're doing well.
Bye.
Bye.